The purpose of this particular video is to bring to your awareness, especially if you're ignorant on this topic. I just want to bring to your awareness that everything that I'm about to talk about is not a taboo. None of it is a taboo, okay? Unlike the teachings that we have gotten from the old generations, from society, from religion, culture, tradition, trying to make us believe that these things are taboo and there is a punishment that comes with it. Unlike all those things, even religion trying to make you believe that this particular topic is associated with the devil or with negativity, unlike all those things that you have been made to believe, I am here to bring to your awareness that that's not the case, okay? This particular topic isn't a taboo. It comes with the territory of being a human being. As far as you have blood running through these veins, as far as you are a human being, everything I'm about to talk about right now is a normal human experience that everybody has to go through. And it is not a taboo, it is normal. And that being said, today I want to talk about sexual desire, stroke urge, and also sexual shame. I am really excited to make this particular video because I've been wanting to talk about this for the longest time. This is something I am learning on my self-awareness journey because I'm getting to know myself and I'm having a relationship with myself. So there are a lot of things I am deconstructing in my world, and this is part of it. This is something that I am learning, and as soon as I started understanding this topic, sexual desire, the urge that we get as human beings, as soon as I started understanding and realizing that this is just normal, this is something that comes with the territory, I have been telling myself that I will make a video to also share this with someone that is out there that is ignorant, that does not understand this, and is still going with the old beliefs that has been used to brainwash them, that is still going with the old belief that society has been enforcing on them. I want you to free yourself from that old belief and realize that sexual desire or urge is not associated with no devil. It is not something negative. It's something that every human being have, okay? We have to experience it because it comes with the territory of being a human being. It comes with how we are, like it's just part of who we are and it's part of the experience that we're here to experience. Anyways, my name is Nkechi KK, and on this channel what I do is just share my personal experience, okay? Like I said, I'm going through an awakening, which is like a self-awareness, and this is my journey. So as I'm trying to deconstruct my world and create more freedom, opportunities, more everything that I want in my world, I decided to also film a process where I help others, become self-aware, become self-accepting, start loving themselves more, and also have like a deep relationship with yourself. So that's what I do on here, share my personal experience. Sometimes I vlog, sometimes I do sit downs, sometimes I just sing. I don't know how to sing, I mean like I mimic. I just do whatever I want to do because now I'm trying to create everything I want to see in my world. So I just do that on here. YouTube is like my space. And let's just dive into the video. I don't want to come on here and just talk about the things that I have observed during my journey. I also wanted to come on here and talk about the things that I have listened to, made research on, the things that I've learned, okay, not just from my own observation. And I made research so that I come on here and talk about facts and also talk about my own personal understanding. And for that fact, for that fact, I made a note. So if you see me looking down or looking at, just know that I'm referring back to my notes, so that everything that we talk about here is just facts and also a little bit garnished with personal experience, okay? And let's just get into it properly. Okay, so during puberty, the human body undergoes hormonal changes, which is an increase in testosterone for men and women, for girls and boys. Let's not say women and men because now we're talking about kids. So when the kids get to a certain age, they go through puberty, and that particular change is an increase in testosterone for the boys and for the girls, but mostly the boys get the testosterone and the girls get the estrogen. And once this particular increase happens, there is a physical change that comes with it. And not just a physical change, there's also a development of sexual desire. Okay, now a child does not have sexual desire. They don't know what the fuck sexual desire is. And for you to get to the point where you become a man and you become a woman or a lady, you have to go through puberty. That is where you start growing your breasts from. As a girl, you start having your body features. I don't know, me, I did not get body features though. From a young age, I had athletic body, like I have like a manly structure, and when I hit puberty, it was the same thing. The features I have right now is coming from the fact that I have been working out and I've been trying to eat to gain, like, you know, weight on the right places, if you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is that everybody that comes into this particular reality goes through that particular change. So for you to go from a boy to a man, there's going to be like an increase in testosterone where your voice is no longer like that boyish voice. You start having this manly voice when you go from I want apple to I want to eat apple, you know. When you start growing beards, you know, you start having some, like, there's this futures that comes with it. And that particular increase in testosterone is something that, you know, comes with a physical change. And not just a physical change, it comes with a development of sexual desire. Now you see, it is normal. Sexual desire is urge. For the girls too, when you're growing breasts and you're, you know, seeing your period, you know, that particular change comes with development of sexual desire and sexual urge. So you see that it is normal. It has nothing to do with the devil. It has nothing to do with negativity. It has nothing to do with nothing. It is something that happens for you to become a man and a woman. Your hormones change. And once that change comes, it comes with these things. Like changes. You go from innocence to someone that wants to be touched, someone that wants to be loved, someone that wants to be kissed, caressed, someone that wants to release. Soapy. Girls, it happens from the age of 9 to 14, but this actually depends on the individual. Okay, it varies. It depends on the individual. Some see their own even earlier than 9, there's some 8, you know, some see their own even later than 15, some see their own even later than 16. So it depends. Okay, and for the guys, this happens between the age of 10 to 15, but then again, it varies. One of the factors that can make this particular changes vary is biological differences. Okay, because of how we are biologically different, you know, yours will hit maybe sooner, mine will hit later. But yeah, when did I start changing? I think I started changing at the age of 11, 12. Yes, that's when I started having boobs. I was part of a football, will I say club or group, and then I used to play football before the change happened. So when the change started happening, I could no longer play football well because my breast was developing and it was very small. So normally I play defense and I like to, you know, but then my breast was not growing. I could not chest ball. If I chest ball, the pain. So when this change started happening, I quit playing football. Actually, I could not stand the pain, so I had to quit. Anyways, this happens to everybody. Let's give it a percentage. Let's say 96% of people go through this. I don't want to say 100% because there are some issues that stop some people from actually developing. So let me not exclude them. Let me not include them, sorry. Let me exclude them. So I would say 96% of people on earth that have come and that have gone, 96% of people go through this particular change. And some later, some earlier, but this particular changes definitely happen to almost every child. Okay, almost every freaking child, even the one that you have not given birth to. This change is going to happen. Your child, your innocent child, is going to go from a girl to a woman, and it is something that you cannot stop. And your innocent boy is going to go from a boy to a man. Anyways, what I'm trying to bring to your awareness, like I said, is that sexual urge and sexual desire is part of the human experience. We're getting into the juicy part. Okay, this is just me trying to ease you up. I want you to open up your mind and realize that nothing is wrong with you. Okay, if you're having sexual urge and desire every time you want to release, there's nothing fucking wrong with you. Okay, I'm going to be even explaining why most people have it more than some other people. But then I've already said biological differences can actually make these things really different for everybody. But yeah, I just want you to understand that this particular topic, sexual desire urge, happens to every freaking person. And just the way you have to excrete shit, like take a shit to like take away your waste products. It is everybody that goes through that. Everybody they shit. That's the way you have to sweat, to like take away your waste products. That's the same way you get your sexual desires and your urges. Okay, it is normal and everybody goes through this. Let's chit chat. Are you ready? Ready? 100%. Most humans experience sexual urge at some point of their lives, but the intensity, the frequency, and the presence of the urge varies widely on three things: biological factors, psychological factors, and social factors. While sexual desire is common human experience, it is not universal. So yeah, it is common. It is something that every human being has to go through. But then it is not universal. Now, there are some issues that can affect somebody from having sexual desire and sexual urge. That's why it is not universal. Now, it is supposed to be for everybody, but some issues stop some people from having a full human experience. Some people have low or no sexual desire because they are either asexual. I don't know if you guys have heard about asexual, but I recently started hearing about them, and I think they are part of the LGBTQ something AIL. They are now part of them because there are people that identify as asexual because they do not have any sexual desire. Now they can actually connect with their partner mentally, emotionally, deeply, but then there is no attraction, there's no arousal, and it's just who they are. Okay, it's just how they were born. Okay, there's nothing wrong with them. There is no issue. They actually have a group that is part of that status that I've called. Now, most times again, hormones can actually affect this. Now, hormones can actually affect if you have your sexual desire or not, and certain medication can cause it. Certain medication, most people that have like some issues, some health issues, and they live on drugs, like they live on medication. Now, the medication they are taking can actually affect if their sexual desire stays or if it goes. Yeah, because there are some drugs that can actually lower your sexual desire or your sexual urge. Also, psychological factor can actually affect people's sexual desire, especially trauma. People that have been traumatized, either they were raped or their first experience was not it, or even stress. Now, these are some of the psychological factors that can affect people's sexual desire. And age also can actually affect people's desire. As people get older in age, their sexual desire reduces. That's what this one is ChatGPT that told me. But I know I'm not going to experience that. But age actually reduces sexual urge and sexual desire. Okay. Now, what can actually cause sexual urge and sexual desire? That is what I am here to talk about. The causes of sexual desire and also the sexual shame that society has enforced, religion has enforced. That shame. I want to talk about that shame. That shame is something that actually was holding me back. Okay, and now that I have been able to embrace my sexuality, now that I've been able to like accept my sexuality, I have seen how free my life has become. I've seen how light and how I am now very more creative than ever before, because now I accept myself, I embrace these things, and I have liberated myself from the old beliefs. And that's why it is like the main topic. But we're going to get to that. That's the sexual shame. It's going to be like the last of the whole talk. Okay, so let's talk about what really causes sexual desire. Now, for those of you that always feel like there is something wrong with you because you're always wanting to come, you always want to climax, you're always like, you're always turned on, there is nothing wrong with you, girl. There is nothing wrong with you. Just like I have talked about how some people have low sexual desire, that is the same way they have people that exist that have high sexual desire. Now, I'm one of those people, and I'm proud to say that I'm one of those people. I didn't know I was, because I actually thought that it was wrong for me to be how will I say it? It was wrong for me to be like highly sexual. But then I got to understand that it's part of who I am. Like, I have high libido. I don't know if you know what libido is. You should know. I have like high sexual energy, which is like I have like high creativity energy, high life force energy. And before I wasn't accepting this, and this was actually keeping me stagnant. But now that I have accepted it, you see how free I have become. So just the same way there are people that have low sexual drive, like low sex drive. And that's the same way that there are people that exist that have a high sex drive. And let's talk about the causes of high sex drive. The first, of course, again, is hormonal. Hormone is one of the causes of high sex drive. Your hormone can actually influence your sexual urge, in case you don't know. If you find yourself in the side of the people that have sex drive, you should be grateful, okay? Because there are people that don't. I'm not saying those people shouldn't be grateful also. It depends on what you want in life. Now, there are people that are okay with having low sex drive. There are people that are just okay with it. They're not interested in it, and that's what they want. But there are people that have low sex drive and they want to actually have high sex drive. So for you that already find yourself having like high sex drive, sex urge, sexual desire, you should be grateful. Now, if you're somebody that have high sex drive or high sexual desire and you don't want that, you want to have a lower sex drive, there are things that you can do to reduce your sexual urge and desire, okay? And maybe I will talk about that at the end of the video. But yeah, hormones can actually influence your sex drive. So there is nothing wrong with you, girl. It's just how you were created. You have too much sauce. You have too much. It's too much. Okay? Now, brain chemistry is something again that can influence your sexual drive. The dopamine, the serotonin that regulates pleasure and reward directly affects sexual desire and urge. So you see, every human have that dopamine and serotonin in them, every human being. Now, that particular neurotransmitter, which is the dopamine and the serotonin, they actually influence sexual drive. Okay, so again, there is nothing wrong with you if you have high sex drive. Psychological factor also can actually increase your sexual drive or actually reduce your sexual drive. And when I say psychological factor increasing your sexual drive, it means that you're someone that have like high self-esteem. If you have high self-esteem, it is possible that you have high sex drive. If you're someone that doesn't really stress and you don't have negative body image, like you don't think about your body in a negative way, these things are part of the things that can like keep you on that high sex drive. You're someone that really appreciates yourself, you are comfortable with your body, you are confident about who you are, you really accept and you know yourself, you definitely are going to have like a high sex drive or sex urge or sex desire or sexual desire. Also, your environment is also a factor that can actually trigger sex drive. Your emotional intimacy and your external stimulants or stimuli, which is physical contact, can actually help sexual drive or sexual desire. So these things are things that can either trigger or suppress your sexual urge, okay? Social and cultural factor can actually influence your sex drive. Some cultural norms, religion, belief, media, and social expectation can actually shape in an individual attitudes towards sex. And for us here in Africa, the way it has actually shaping our attitudes towards sex, they made us reject this thing. They made us shy away from our sexuality, and that is one of the things that has been like keeping us just stagnant and keeping us in a state where we are not growing personally. We don't have like personal development, like we are not growing as individuals because there are a lot of shame that has been imposed on us when it comes to sexuality, especially we the women. So we're not even allowed to express ourselves sexually. There are some limitation that has been placed on us. Now, I made a video where I talked about deconstructing the roles and the views of the female child or the women expectation, and those things I talk about on that particular video is actually part of these things that society, religion, culture has done to women. So because of the way that we have been manipulated and controlled for the longest time, this whole construct, or this whole, what would I call it, yeah, construct, has actually affected our sexual drive and urges, because we have been taught to shy away from it, especially religion. We have been taught to shy away from it. We have been taught to, just not fully accept, our sexuality. And all these things are part of our creativity. These things are part of what helps our personal growth. Okay, being in an environment where you are being accepted for who you are, you are being valued for who you are, having this particular support in your community or your society can actually help you become like your better self, your higher self, your become like the best version of yourself. But because of, I don't know, the plan that they have for us here in Africa, they kept us at the point where we cannot really actualize, or we cannot really become these things, because there are so many things that were done to us. And I don't want to even start getting into it until we get to sexual shame, because that's the next thing we're going to be talking about. Sexual shame, the most important topic of them all. Sexual shame can have significant effect on a person's life, influencing their emotion, influencing their psychological and social well-being. People with sexual shame often struggle with low self-esteem and body image issue. People with sexual shame also struggle with difficulties in intimacy and relationship. People with sexual shame struggle with sexual dysfunction, which is lack of arousal. People with sexual shame also struggle with mental health issues, which is developing anxiety, depression. People with sexual shame also develop a negative impact on their personal growth and creativity. Sexual energy is closely linked to creativity and self-expression. When sexual shame suppresses this energy, individual may feel blocked in other areas of life. Did you get that? When sexual shame suppresses this energy, individual may feel blocked in other areas of life. Now, if you are somebody that is feeling like you are blocked, like you're stagnant, like there are so many things that you have tried, to change who you are right now, and nothing is working. And when I mean change who you are, I mean not physically, I mean like you are trying to change your mental state. You're trying to look at yourself and see yourself in a positive light. You're trying to change, how you view the world. You're trying to change so many things about yourself, but these things are not working. Like the internal work you are doing on yourself is not working. It's because of the sexual shame that you carry around. Now, most people do not know that the problem that they have comes from the fact that they do not accept their sexuality, and it is not their fault. It is the environment that has been created for us. It is the community or the society that has been created for us. Now, the old teachings or the old generation did not do well when it comes to teaching us about accepting our sexuality. And maybe I am talking about this from personal experience, because I never had any conversation with my mom or my dad or anybody around me talking about sexuality. I got to understand what sexuality really is growing up. What I mean growing up self at the, let's say, late 20s. At the point where I started having my awakening and my self-awareness. Like I started going into self-awareness. That is when I started understanding what sexuality really is. So you see that the old generation did not do well in teaching us to really accept these things, and in not teaching us to really accept our sexuality, there was no like healthy environment for us to fully accept ourselves and accept the things that we really desire in life. Because there is no support, there is no supportive environment. The only environment that was created for us is an environment that was full with judgment. Okay, judgmental environment full of, people trying to tell you what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, people trying to tell you how to live your life, people trying to, control the things that you experience in your life. That was the environment that was created for us. Now, they did not create the healthy environment that we need, which is, allowing us to fully be ourselves, allowing us to fully be able to express ourselves in every area of our life. And if you know what sexual energy is, I've talked about what sexual energy is. I think the last video before this particular video, I talked about what sexual energy really is. If you know what sexual energy really is, you know that it is one of the strongest life force energy that really exists in this life, like one of the strongest life force that we all have been blessed with. If you're able to master your sexual energy, you'll be able to master a lot of things in this life. You'll be able to like transform yourself or transmutate yourself from one state to another. You'll be able to like manifest whatever it is you want to manifest. That is how great and that is how strong that particular energy really is. Now, because we did not get proper teachings about sexual energy, that is why most of us are who we are right now, because there is no proper teaching, there's no proper foundation. Most of us spend our life sharing this energy anyhow, and the more you share this energy anyhow, the more you become stuck with having low self-esteem, the more you become stuck with having anxiety and depression, because this energy is not meant to be shared anyhow unintentionally. This energy is meant to be used intentionally for your own benefit. But because you did not have proper education or teaching on this particular topic, that is why you share this particular energy. Some people even go to the extent of selling this energy, like using this particular energy, their sexual energy, to get money, like to get material things, not knowing how strong this energy really is. And the things that they are getting for this particular energy, for this their particular strong energy, are things that have no value. Because if you know what material things is, if you know what luxury, what you call luxury, if you know what it really is, you know that it has no value, it depreciates. And the only thing that cannot depreciate, if you keep it well or if you are able to really master and control it, is your sexual energy. This is your life force energy. And society or religion or culture or tradition creating an environment where they teach us or they force sexual shame on us is them trying to disconnect us from the sacred chakra. That means you will never feel comfortable in your body. You will never fully understand your body. You will never fully connect to your body. I don't know if I'm making sense. So once an individual feels blocked in every area of their life, their personal ambition cannot be accomplished because they are blocked. Their self-discovery, how will you discover yourself when you're blocked from your life force energy? And they have limited mindset. You end up having limited mindset because if you're somebody that does not really understand what sexual energy really is, and because you don't understand it, you don't accept it, you just live your life on default, following the old generational teachings or following the society, what society has enforced on you, you're going to be somebody that end up having a limited mindset. Because how can you have an open mindset when you're not even able to accept your own self? You're not able to accept your own sexuality. I see people that are not even able to talk about sex in public. Adults cannot even talk about sex or anything that has to do with sex in public. Some people cannot really express themselves when it comes to their sexual desire or their sexual, or they cannot communicate these things to their partner. And all these things are, like I said, these are the things that disconnect you from yourself, and you don't know this. But anyways, in conclusion to sexual shame, For anybody to truly overcome sexual shame, you have to get therapy, or you have to educate yourself, like the way I am educating myself right now. Nobody's teaching me. I am personally teaching myself about these things. So you have to either get therapy. If you cannot get therapy, you have to educate yourself on these subjects, and also find a supportive environment that encourage open and non-judgmental discussions. Okay, find a community. Like I am trying to create my community right now. I'm trying to create a community right here on my channel where people are able to freely express themselves, talk about whatever they want to talk about. There is no judgment. Yes, there is no judgment on here. I want a supportive community where anyone can come on here, talk about whatever they want to talk about, express themselves the way they want to express themselves. You know, ask questions that you feel like this question is the greatest question and nobody's going to listen to. You can ask it here. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create a community where I get to be myself and you too get to be yourself. Okay, that everybody is down to earth and everybody is willing to experience life openly with each other. That's what I'm trying to do. So you have to find a community or a group, something that is supportive and they don't judge. Okay, that is how you'll be able to overcome sexual shame. Now, in case you don't even know, sexual shame can actually travel through bloodlines, through generations. So most of the shame that you're feeling right now sexually might not even be your shame. It might be the shame from either your mom, your dad, or your grandmother, your grandfather. It travels through. If you know what trauma is, you know that it travels through generations. Okay, so whatever it is that you might be feeling right now, maybe 50% of it is not yours. It might be coming from, your bloodline. It might be coming from even the environment you grew up in. So these issues are issues that when you don't even sort it out, and you decide to go into the family way and give birth, you can actually pass this down to your children, and you'll give birth to children that are not confident, children that have like low self-esteem, and you're going to be wondering like why. After putting them through the best schools, the best this, the best that, they come out having some, maybe anxiety, depression, and you're like, what is happening? It is the fact that you were not able to deconstruct your own world and create an environment where, you just have like this healthy relationship with yourself in every area of your life. Like there is no shame anywhere. You don't harbor any shame, because harboring shame, carrying shame is something that gets stuck in the body. So carrying shame, it's creating a negative environment for yourself. And if you carry that shame and use it to create your own family, you're going to be creating a space where there's negativity already for them, and they will not develop they're not going to develop like you think they will develop, because the environment you are creating for them is not even healthy enough. Just the way the one that was created for you wasn't healthy, that's the way you're going to create for your children if you don't deconstruct. I like to use the word deconstruct, but if you don't analyze these things separately and understand them, educate yourself on these things, you're going to be creating an environment where your children don't even feel comfortable to talk about their sexuality with you. Just the same way I grew up, not see till today as I'm talking to you. I don't think I can have like a proper conversation with my mother about my sexual life, and that is not how it is meant to be. I know I have talked about how I don't want children, like I don't want to give birth. And some of these factors are the factors that has influenced my decision. But yeah, if I was going to give birth, if I was going to have children, I wouldn't want to have a relationship with my child where my child is not able to talk to me about anything. See, I want my children to be able to talk to me about anything. If they are doing anything wrong, I should be the first person they want to tell about that. Like I should be the first person they want to communicate about it. If they are doing something good, they are doing something confusing, they are doing whatever it is that they are partaking or involving themselves in, I want to be the first person that they talk to. I want to be the first person that they are able to, like, they feel like, okay, I can't talk to nobody, but I can talk to mommy. That particular environment was not created for me. Okay, that particular space wasn't created for me. And I'm not even blaming my parents. I'm not blaming their generation. It was done to them. So whatever was done to them was what they did to us. It's passed down. I keep saying this thing. It's all passed down. So I'm not blaming them. Okay, I'm not even here to like point fingers and say you are at fault. You are. No, I'm not blaming anybody. I know that these things are things that were passed down. So most of these things are something that our parents are ignorant to. But that is what I want my own, like that's how I want my family to be. I want my son to be able to talk to me about anything. He's about to date a girl, no matter at what age. Even at the age of 11, you are liking a girl, talk to me, talk to mommy is there. Then I put you through, I talk to you, no shame, no judgment. I talk to you as an, like, as a friend, a parent, as everything. My daughter is crushing on a guy or had her first kiss at the age of 9. There is no shame. Had her first kiss at the age of 16. There is no shame. My daughter, anything that happens, somebody touched my daughter inappropriately and warned them not to tell mommy, they would come tell mommy, because mommy has created that space. Mommy has, made them understand that they can tell them anything. They can be themselves, they can express themselves, they can talk about anything, pour their heart out. That is what mommy has created for them. So I don't know if you're getting my gist. That is what I would have created for my children if I was going to actually give birth in this particular reality. But I've decided not to partake in that particular expectation, because it's an expectation from the society. So I've decided not to partake in that particular expectation where I am a mother. But if I will create a healthy environment for my kids. By doing what? By educating myself right now on this subject. Okay. So anyways, that is it. That is what I wanted to talk about. And also, like I said, these things are not a taboo. So when you are always getting, the urge to want to release your sexual energy, I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with you. It is just part of who you are. It is part of the experience. Now, what really matters now is what I talked about on the last video before this one, which is how to control your sexual energy, how to master it. Now, if you don't want to unintentionally, or you don't want to subconsciously keep sharing your energy anyhow, there is a way that you can actually control your sexual energy. There's a way you can actually master your sexual energy, and that one is up to you. Okay, it is up to whosoever wants to master, because it's not everybody that is interested in harnessing their sexual energy. Just some few people that want to really get into that particular magic of sexual energy. And if you're that one person, you're tired of sharing your sexual energy anyhow with just anybody, yes, there is a way for you to use your sexual energy. There's a way for you to just become one, with your sexuality. There's a way for you to do that. Okay, and I would advise you to just go see that video. I think I'll put a picture here, or I'll put a link on my description box. So if you're interested in mastering your sexual energy, mastering how, just controlling how you release your sexual energy, just go watch that video. But that being said, if you just want to keep releasing your sexual energy, please enjoy. Okay, that is what you're here to do. Okay, you are here to experience the whole experience that comes with being a human being, and one of it is that. Okay, one of it is you being able to release your sexual energy. Okay, what is for you to enjoy it. Okay, so go ahead and enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with it. There is consequences, of course, because everything in life has consequences, which is not negative. Okay, when I mean consequences, cause and effect, too much of everything is bad, but apart from that, there is no punishment. There is no, devil is controlling your mind. There is no, they don't curse you, they don't swear for you, there is nobody remoting you from your village. There is nothing. Okay, it's part of who you are. Okay, it's part of what comes with having this body. Okay, so free yourself from sexual shame as a woman, as a man, mostly women, because women are the ones that have been, this sexual shame is something that has been enforced on them, where you see women not they're not in tune with their body. They don't understand their body. They don't even know what turns them on or what turns them off. They don't, because they're not in tune with their body. They're not connected with their body because of what society has done to them, what tradition has done to them, what religion has done to them. And yeah, that really affects their sexual desire. But I am here to tell you that you can free yourself from this shame, because freeing yourself from this shame, of course, is going to help you become more creative. Like I've talked about, you are going to become more creative. If you're somebody that you feel like you don't even have style, you don't have confidence, you don't have all these things, freeing yourself from sexual shame can actually open you up to realizing how, you can become stylish, you can become really creative from nowhere, you can become more in tune with your body and more in tune with yourself, bringing out, that version of yourself that you've always wanted, that version that you didn't know existed. Once you're able to free yourself from sexual shame, you're going to get connected and grounded, and this is just going to help you evolve into who you want to be. Okay, so yeah, free yourself from sexual shame. Those things are illusions. There is no limit to who you can be as a woman on this earth. Okay, I know I keep talking about my women, but yes, there is no limit. Okay, so just free yourself from sexual shame. Just express yourself in however you want to express yourself. The world is yours. The world is your oyster. The world is your playing field. Okay, and that is all for this video. I hope this video was as interesting as it was for me to make it, and stay tuned for my next video. Bye.